What is love?
Formation Station. Liberation.
Makes no sense. That was unexpected.
Hello and good evening. It is Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, and we just finished watching the second episode of Celebrity Big Brother 3 here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might be listening to us on the audio version. I'm Dave Mader, joined with co-host Jaemeel Robinson to break down this episode tonight. As we got our first nominations, we see Mariah and Carson go up on Misha's watch here. It would look like her target was going to be Teddy, but then there was a kind of a turnabout face here, and Teddy then makes a backdoor deal with Misha, and now Misha is probably going to keep to that based on what I was seeing in the diary room sessions, although they're not, Teddy's not completely sold if she can trust her or not yet. But, Mariah, gets this information. She goes and she tells Teddy, and then Teddy tells Todrick. And then Todrick tells Misha, and then Misha's now looking at Mariah in not a positive manner, because really what was happening here for me, Jaemeel, was that Mariah was trying to be loyal to this new alliance formation, which is the other big headline we have for tonight. We have a new alliance formation. They have the majority, but I don't know. We'll see if this lasts, because Mariah seems to be a loose brick in the foundation of the formation. They're not called foundation. It's just a formation right now. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot to unpack with all that. But I guess number one question I have for you tonight is did Mariah just play too hard, and or should we just feel sorry for her?
Oh baby, she played too hard. Oh baby. Loyalty in this game is having people believe that your word is your bond, and you turning around after someone told you something in confidence is not keeping to your word, right? It doesn't work that way, right? So her telling Teddy, hey, I think Misha's coming for you, that's not breaking your word. You saying that Misha's coming for you is breaking your word, right? And the alliance that you were a part of will be like, hey, wait a second. Someone told you something in confidence. I don't know if I could in turn say something to you in confidence, and you're going to keep it. Todrick was absolutely right, as begrudgingly it is for me to say that. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I think he was like, I don't want this to come back on me now, so I'm gonna try to close the loop back to Misha and just say hey, I think you need to be wary of what you tell her moving forward. And so I think that Misha has definitely lost some stock in the house, even with her alliance, even if formation does go forward here, if it does last throughout the course of this game, and it gets them into any kind of a thing here. But it was kind of interesting how that all came together tonight, as we see.
Dave, at the end of the day, when they're going to go back and look at what happened this week, it went from Chris Kattan, right, and another person being nominated with Teddy being the back door, and now you have two members of formation on the block now.
Right, it's two members of formation on the block. Yeah, that is definitely worth noting with Carson and Mariah. Let's get into just the noms here.
I have nominated you, Mariah, and you, Carson. Mariah, you are a fierce competitor, and I respect your ability to play this game.
It's the same, right?
Yeah. She's like, well, you, it's the social game. You're the social, she's the physical. And both of them are told they're the pawn, but they both can't be the pawn. And Teddy is apparently not the target anymore. So what's happening tomorrow? If you had to guess on who's getting evicted tomorrow.
Well, let me turn on feeds and I can tell you. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Feeds aren't available, and we'll get an update on Friday. So all we have is the show to give you. Honestly, what I think is going to end up happening is neither of them are going to win Power Veto. Misha's probably going to win Power Veto. Going to take down Carson. Going to put up Teddy.
Okay. So you think she'll still target Teddy even if one of them takes themselves down?
Sorry, I'm totally brain farting. Why did I say that? Sorry. She'll put up Chris Kattan instead
To put
of
up Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
Why Chris Kattan?
Because she knows Naran will go home.
Who will?
Moran, sorry.
Mariah?
Mariah.
Mariah. I was like, who's Moran?
Moran.
Moran. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I just I loved at the end of that nominations and when they were going to the diary room and Chris Kattan was like, "This makes no sense." You know, he's like, "What is happening?"
Shut up! Don't get
That
nominated.
was unexpected. And I know we should expect the unexpected, but that was one I did not expect.
Is he was meant to play the Riddler, I think, Jaemeel. Because he says that was unexpected, and I know we should expect the unexpected, but that was the one I did not expect. But wouldn't that then meet your expectations?
Yes. Dave, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, okay, let's just say Mariah wins the veto.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Misha wins the veto.
Okay.
There's two M's. Here's two M's here. I'm getting my M's mixed up. There's two Chris's. There's a lot going on here. But I would say, let's say Misha wins the veto. She keeps noms the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At that point, I would think that the House would definitely vote out Misha. 100%.
I'll give you another chance at that.
You think they'll vote out Carson? They'll take it. It's a good opportunity to get him out.
Who'd they vote out?
Mariah. Sorry. I'm getting my M's mixed up.
I give you another chance. I knew it.
Yeah.
Everyone knew what you meant.
Right. The M.
Yes. Yes,
The
they
M
would.
or
Absolutely. And
yeah.
I'm rethinking what I just said. Why would they keep Mariah? Why wouldn't they keep Mariah if Chris Kattan is there? So if Misha was really thinking, she wouldn't put Chris Kattan up either. She would need another. The issue is we know more than she does. So
what if she put up Shanna? They would have voted Shanna.
The problem is we have more knowledge than she does. So therefore we can't she's gonna put up someone who she believes or I don't even know if she the problem with this type of game is that the people don't know strategy at all unless someone's talking to her in her ear. And Chris Kirkpatrick is probably not going to reveal much. And it's probably like, hey, as long as you're not putting me up, whatever decision you make, it's okay with me, which is the right approach because you don't want to start, being that the wise man, right?
No. If he can just say just keep himself out of trouble and otherwise it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So she's not going to put up one of the members of her alliance, Misha. So therefore, because of how big formation is, most likely she's going to land on one of the people from the alliance. Because if she puts up Chris Kattan or puts up Todd Bridges, they're gone. Formation will, vote to keep Mariah.
Yeah, they're gonna say, why would we vote at Mariah, rather than one of these two? Okay, yeah, that's definitely a point taken. Looks like it's just you and I tonight, Jaemeel. I don't think Jeff will be joining us.
Jeff's not coming.
There's no Jeff.
Jeff is Todd Bridges. Just
yeah. Okay. And then there was this whole thing about forming, no pun intended here.
And then all of a sudden it comes to me. How about formation? Oh my gosh.
Ooh, I love that.
Let's get in formation.
Ooh, I love it.
It's a good name.
Yeah, you're down with formation?
It is a good name. It is is on theme. It's a good name. I like the name because you want a name that doesn't sound stupid, right? But it's a common word, and one of those alliances where names where you're like, no one has used this name before because it seems pretty obvious, right?
Right.
When it becomes like too much Forte or
Faute.
Faute.
Five of us till the end.
Stupid.
I still remember what it stands for, though.
But it's a stupid name, right?
But even how this alliance came together tonight, because it was like we had like sort of it starting with Todrick and Carson joining up with Tiffany and Shanna, right? Like that was kind of, or Cynthia,
the original four, the core
not
four,
not Tiffany, Cynthia. Right, and so that was like the four, and then Mariah shows up and says, "Well, why don't Teddy and I just join your alliance?" And like they, like because Mariah just kind of comes up to Todrick and Cynthia and says, "So you guys have any alliances?" And then Cynthia just kind of tells her, "Yeah, I kind of do." And she's like, "Can I join it?" And then she's like, "Well, I guess." And she's like, "Okay, can Teddy join it too?" Okay. And then like Todrick's just like, "Well, I guess within reason, sure." She's like, "Now we have majority." And everything's seeming beautiful, right? And then they come together and they're like, "Let's have a meeting and formation station."
Formation station. Liberation.
The formation is the name, and winning Celebrity Big Brother is the game.
First classes.
Yeah. Okay. Did you like her diary room sessions tonight, Mariah? She's got a very like interesting cadence to her voice and the way she speaks. Okay, like listen to this one.
I'm already working with Todrick and Teddy. 3 more might be the right number.
It seems like when I edit podcasts, people talk with a beginning, middle, and end, right?
Right.
All of her sequences seems like it's just all middle. It just you feel like you're in the middle of the sentence and it doesn't end. It's like, there's more.
But there's always the option that it might end, but it's probably not going to end. It's probably
coming
a comma.
Close.
Yeah, but it's never quite. She never expires it. And she's like, she is gonna say there's more, but it's like she's gonna wait till it's almost like when you're in like a draft and you're that the person who takes the entire minute and 30 seconds before they pick their pick. Where they're just like, "Come on, guy! Like you gotta wait the whole 90 seconds."
Just leave it for auto choice if you're gonna do that.
Right. Yeah. But Mariah, just kind of. I was like, she's kind of nerdy. I would say almost the way she's kind of she's like, "I am here to be a strategist," or like she's kind of got this confidence that I think is cute. We have the numbers.
We have the numbers. We're 6 strong.
Yeah, she's got this game locked down.
She is playing like a person who just watched maybe a season or 2 of Big Brother, especially the beginning of the season of Big Brother, and does not know how 6-person day 1 alliances typically end up, right? And
well, she's probably seen. Do you think she's only watched this? She's probably watched a few of like the other seasons. She's seen like level 6. She's seen that kind of that thing play out. She saw the bot. Well, she's even seen stuff that's been more recent. Like who am I thinking of? Not Faute. Who was the nemesis of Faute's? Level 6 was, right?
Level 6, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, there was the commission or whatever. And then there was the cookout. If you've seen the cookout, I just like, what's the right number? You want the alliance of 6, I guess, and especially in a game where you're only starting off with 11 people. I guess is sort of the idea. But
see, the problem is with that logic is sure 6 is great, but if 2 people from your alliance get nominated, right, you're down. You're down in numbers.
Right, but I get the logic of like, well, we control half the house, but then it's also interesting to me who they choose not to include in this alliance, right? Who's basically the other side, and the thing with the other side here, if you want to call it that, because they're not really a side, they're just kind of like the leftovers. We got Chris Kattan, who apparently is just sleeping his way through this game. He's only coming out for diary room sessions where he says, is there a game going on here? Like
That felt like, okay, there's a game going on.
That felt like there's a game.
Oh my gosh,
going on in here, and so he's not really present. But the thing is, like the other, like who else is in this alliance? Todd Bridges, and Todd Bridges is just snoring, annoying Chris Kattan, and so they're not going to team up. It seems like because
he's annoying Moran, Mariah,
not Moran.
Yeah, I said Mariah the second time. I caught myself. Lamar and Todrick are in the same room, right?
Right.
They're
Lamar is also not in this this formation alliance.
Yeah. See, okay. Here's my issue, my ultimate issue with this. It's too big. You need a core 4, and then you have auxiliary members who are like, you're part of the team, like your younger brother is playing video games with you, but you have the controller unplugged,
Right. Yeah, right? You're kind of like a co-pilot, but you're more your trainee, really.
Yeah, trainee. Just... and so you let them in on details, but you don't let too much of the details go. Just enough that they feel like included. Mariah is one of those people that you have as auxiliary players. She's important to have, but you don't trust her with any type of power.
Especially now that you've seen how like she's quick to act. Because if she really wants to warn Teddy here and like try to deflect this, I feel like if she feels like that has the urgency to it, which I don't think it really does. But even if it does, like she should get the whole alliance together as many alliance members together and say, hey, like this is what Misha said to me that she's thinking about putting up Teddy. Is there a way we can maybe get that target off of her, and so we could protect our alliance, right? And then
she has Todrick there. She had an immediate release valve that she could have bounced ideas off. That's the whole point of like when you like have people in multiple alliance. Right? You use the person as a release valve, not necessarily to just throw your game, like your whole game to this other person, but like you talk through some of the ideas and see how they feel about it. It's like, how do you feel about Teddy? It's like, I don't know, Misha wants to get rid of her. Do you think that's the best idea for us? I don't know. Like you have these questions that you place and you bounce them back. Don't just go straight to Teddy. Right? Especially don't like you're leaving Todrick in a bind because let's say Misha found out not from Todrick. She's gonna say, I talked to 2 people or 3 people. Who are those 3 people that told on me? Chris Kirkpatrick, he's too scared to say anything. Right? So it's Rand and Todrick who was there for that in-depth conversation upstairs.
Right, which is why Todrick kind of gets out ahead of this, yes. Right, as much as he can, which is kind of the smart play. And let's talk about him because he's bouncing around and he says if anyone's playing 2 sides, it's him, because he's trying to like sort of form an alliance with Misha, but who's current HOH. But he's like, yeah, sure, I'm in formation and all of that is happening too. But I guess he's got side deals and there's different things. And so we weren't too high on him last night on the podcast.
Still not too high on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you is his stock gone up for you at all? Is your opinion? Because I was a little bit more like, well, he's working hard. Whether it will be his undoing, we'll see. But
the problem with a game this messy is when you have too many, you have too many hands and too many pies, and then people are going to start comparing notes. We know it's going to happen, right? Misha going forward is going to be checking the tape. She's going to be right, and eventually, like Teddy's going to talk. let's say Misha and Teddy actually end up past this week with a good relationship. Teddy is going to talk, right? And Teddy's going to release some stuff. And then what's going to end up happening? Misha's going to confront Mariah if she doesn't leave. And what's Mariah going to do? She's going to talk, right? To save herself, right? And it points back to Todrick. And Todrick's going to say, hey, I was loyal to you. I gave you the heads up what was happening.
But you're not wanting to give him much more credit than just that. That was smart.
It's not a matter of credit. It's just that, like, okay, let's say Todrick and Chris have the same amount of acumen when it comes to this game. Who's in more danger? Chris Kirkpatrick. Chris Kattan. You joker. Who seems like to be in more danger right now? Chris Kirkpatrick or Todrick?
I would say Chris Kirkpatrick seems to be
really. I would think it's Todrick.
Well, Todrick seems covered. He's good with the current HOH. He's good with the formation. So versus Chris Kirkpatrick has no alliance.
He does have alliance.
Who?
He has the athlete alliance.
Chris Kirkpatrick's not an athlete.
He's in the athletic alliance.
Well, I think he should be barred. I think he should.
Why?
He's not. Come on. He's not. He should be the athlete alliance. He's a singer.
So Todrick's a singer.
Todrick is not in the athlete alliance, so it's okay.
He is in the athlete alliance, is he not?
Is he?
Yes.
Wait, who's in the athlete alliance?
Okay.
I'm not even familiar.
Mariah. It is Misha. It is Lamar, not confirmed yet, although it is kind of, right? Chris Kirkpatrick and Todrick.
That alliance is not an alliance. Okay,
it's not a real thing until they have a meeting.
That's till the pinky swear or till there's like a hashtag or something, like, you know.
You're not counting it.
It's not. It's maybe like it's a draft. It at best it's like it's sort of a rough sketch of a concept of an alliance.
I think that if Chris Kirkpatrick and Mariah was put up on the block, Mariah would be going home.
Right. This what Mariah.
Yes, everyone does an alliance name.
That's what Mariah said, and so if she's not like getting them together to say the Athlete Alliance needs a name. We can't just be called the Athlete Alliance. That's not showy enough. Like a figure skater's gonna want something more like dazzly, of course. Right?
Look, so we cannot judge. We can only judge via the television, right? But I'm pretty sure with live feeds, if we had live feeds, they'd probably discuss the name, right?
Okay, well, the Athlete Alliance, I'm not sold on it yet. I'm not saying it can't be a thing. I'm just saying I'm not so sure it's incorporated. Okay, so Chris Kattan is asleep. Chris Kirkpatrick, he's maybe in the Athlete Alliance. He seems, I think he's okay though. He seems to be laying low, and I think he's playing a different kind of a game. Carson ends up on here on the block tonight. You know, what did he do wrong? What is he just playing too social here? Why does Misha put him up here? What's the logic?
She wants to say bet. She knows that everyone likes him.
Right. But okay, is this what will be the consequences of this for Misha, you know, potentially? Do you think Carson will come after her in revenge, or do you think he'll just sort of because he said, like, you know, behind his eyes he was panicking and screaming, but he kind of just went along with this, and then we're cutting away to the diary room, and Misha's like, he seems good with it. All right. Like, you know, everything seems to be on track. And
so that just tells you that they have a horrible relationship.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of honesty.
Yeah. He did not feel comfortable saying no to her. Even like, well, you know, like even that reluctance. It's like, I want to help you out, but why didn't she ask Chris Kirkpatrick? Because Chris Kirkpatrick is more important to Misha than Carson is.
Right. So Carson's more disposable. Anytime I don't think. Okay, here's the real question: if you get asked to be a pawn, is there a good way to react at all? Is there sort of like a go-to play here, or does it just depend on your relationship? And
it's like, is there anything we can do that doesn't involve me becoming a pawn? I'll work with you to figure out an alternative because I want you to succeed. I just don't want. And if it was in your position, the same thing. I wouldn't want to put you in danger. I would hope that you wouldn't want to put me in danger, right? And I know you're in a tight spot, so let's try to work through the names, right? To see if we can figure out an alternative method. Like I would be like, let's keep going. Let's keep trying. Let's see.
At least at least make that pitch at least once, and even if like they shut it down, and like at least you've tried.
Yeah.
I don't, and who knows what they edit out here, but Carson did not seem to put up much of a plea. Even like earlier when Misha asks Mariah, "Do you want to be a pawn?" And I think you will be a pawn here because at this point she's just saying, I think I want to target Teddy, and which Mariah doesn't like because Mariah is aligned with Teddy, and but she's kind of saying, well, why? But I'm not going to say no, and they're kind of afraid to say no. Is Misha just too intimidating with those guns? With is
Cupcake?
Is she not approachable? Are people afraid to say what they really mean?
Todrick doesn't seem afraid to tell her.
No, he seems to have a good relationship with her, and that's why he's saying like I kind of like working with this formation, but I could go if things are going well with Misha and she's winning competitions, maybe she's a good person.
One competition, so
one, yeah, but like I think every time you win a competition, your stock, as an alliance, your value as an alliance member kind of goes up, right? But your threat also goes up. Mm-hmm. And how much people want, it's kind of a catch 22. So that's, I think, or at least that person could win a challenge and then target you or whatever. So it's best to keep on good terms with the competitors. And so since she's the only one who's won anything so far, I think that's all we can really say. Now we'll see how the next competition kind of shakes them. Or not, right? Because some of them have a lot of ego about just being competitors and athletes and going real hard at it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
except if it comes to a puzzle, then Misha's like, I'm done.
Misha doesn't like puzzles.
Misha's like, anytime intelligence is involved, it's going to be over for me. When she came out of the room after she won, it came out of the.
She's more about punchy than a thinky kind, right?
I think she's selling herself a little short. I don't think we're there with like rogue scholars, No.
Who do you think is the smartest person in the house? If you had to guess, like who?
Let's say. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Chris Kattan or maybe either Cynthia or Teddy.
Maybe Carson too. I think he seems like I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Carson did go to a prestigious school. Jeez.
Emmy Award winning.
What did I say? He was in the steeplechase. I said he was an athlete too when he was in school.
He did. He said he was some kind of an athlete, right? He was a track and field star, or
it was not steeplechase, but something along those lines.
Like shot put?
No, not shot put. Shot put. Oh, you joker!
Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay. We've been jumping around the whole episode, and so I don't have a lot of structure here. But we've talked about formation. We've talked about the things like, okay, I guess my other question here is, will there be sort of a let's say formation is a thing. Will Misha be able, and the others who aren't in it, be able to rally like a second side of the house? Could we see two sides of
the other side has no power yet.
Not yet, but could that just like be the social dynamics that form?
Like, I don't think they have to, really. Not at this point, right? I'm not really answering your question because at this point there's no threat because one, they haven't voted together. Two, it's a day one alliance, right? So like saying someone's going to make a comeback or when they have done nothing, right? And then lastly, like, who's winning competitions on that team?
On which on the non
on formation,
the non-formation, the unformation?
No, on formation itself.
Oh, on formation, who's going to be the winner?
I don't think Carson's going to be gunning to
Todrick.
win.
I think Todrick. I think you're going to be surprised to see him win.
But Todrick also doesn't want to put himself in a position where he has to choose one side of the house versus another.
No, but okay. But who's from outside of formation? Who is the biggest threat to win a competition? Probably Lamar, right?
I would say Teddy and
Chris Kirkpatrick.
Huh?
But Teddy's in formation.
See, now I'm Cynthia. Wait, Carson, Todrick, Cynthia, Sharar, whatever her name is. Mirai, and Carson.
6 of them.
Yeah. I didn't say Teddy.
Todrick, Mirai, Carson, Shanna, right?
Yeah, Shanna.
Teddy and Cynthia.
Did you say Mirai?
Yeah, Mirai's in it.
Let me write it down.
What is it? I'm counting 6. Todrick, Mirai, and Carson.
Yeah.
Are 3, and then Shanna, Teddy, and Cynthia.
Damn,
that's
she is in it.
That's formation.
Well, all right. I trust you.
Right? So you're saying formation? Yeah.
So Teddy then. Teddy's the only one I see winning a physical competition right now.
Based on her oat diet or whatever she's doing?
No, I think in general.
Right.
She seems like the next person outside the celebrity, the athletic alliance that has any type of physical kind of stature outside of Todrick.
What if someone like outside of formation wins, like Chris Kirkpatrick? Like he could win power potentially.
Yeah, and he'll default to Misha and the Athletes Alliance.
And so Misha, and so that will protect people like Todrick, right?
If necessary, yeah. Lamar, right?
Athlete Alliance.
He's looking it up. He's like, I don't believe it.
I believe it, but like it's loose. I'm putting loose, and I'm just writing down here my notes. I need to know that these guys are barely.
He's like, I'm going to do some research on this.
I am going to do some research, but for now, you claim that it's Chris Kirkpatrick.
He is.
Okay. Every time they play that bad music, like that stock music, I'm like, no, like that's no good. Like, come on, guys, just play the song or play like the. But what they're playing is worse. It's so bad. It's like it's not. It's supposed to get you in the spirit of it, but I think this is gonna get old. Okay, so Mirai, Misha, Lamar, and for some reason Todrick, right?
What? Lamar.
Todrick's in the Athlete Alliance.
Mirai, yes, and Misha and Chris Kirkpatrick.
Okay, so that's an alliance of 5.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
it's
and
so the alliance of 4 soon.
And then Chris Kattan's no alliance. He barely knows there's a game happening.
He's sleeping.
And is anyone other than Chris Kattan, somebody's in an alliance. Like everybody's in some kind of an alliance then.
Todd Bridges is in one alliance.
Oh, Todd Bridges. I'm sorry, I forgot about Todd Bridges. Yeah, he's snoring on the. So maybe Todd Bridges and Chris Kattan are meant to be like a duo, like a Kato Kalin and a Tom Green kind of an alliance that will go far.
I think people like Todd Bridges
more than they like Chris Kattan.
Well, Chris Kattan is the funny dude that you never really talk to because he's sleeping. Like he doesn't seem as like human as Todd Bridges in that terrible tattoo. My gosh.
Oh yeah, the tattoo. Like Shanna was getting quite the laugh at that tattoo, and like when you really look at it, I guess she's been around a lot of tattoos. She says,
yeah, the tattoo looked awful, dude.
Yeah, he was kind of like. I don't know. I think like the more Todd Bridges stories we get over time, I think he's gonna be a very colored, like just like a lot of like nuance to his background and like everything he's like stories. It sounded like we got that on a bet, like just like he was, like he was drunk and they like said why not like some crazy thing and he picked this out of like the book.
I think. Here's ultimately, and I think I already did ultimately previously, but I feel like when we come back after and we get feeds, right, and it's a week past, we've missed a lot of connecting, and you see a lot of the what could potentially be glue to these people, like Lamar opening up about his ex-wife and how he misses her, right? And we've already seen about how he feels about his previous drug abuse and cheating, and how he's trying to get his life back together and stuff. And you could totally see him and Todd like having that one-on-one conversation and say, hey, sharing life experiences, because they went down similar routes in terms of how bad it got for either of them, right? And so you see those movies, even was it I need to learn these people's name. Shinar.
There's definitely not anybody with that name.
No, the S name
Shanna,
so close.
Yeah.
I was when Lamar said that he wanted to get back with his ex-wife, I was like, the ex, is it the ex-wife that is sisters with my ex?
I may or may not have called his fiance at one time a donkey on national television.
Called a donkey.
So yes, there's I mentioned yesterday there's potential for conflict between the two, but there's also a situation for connecting because they know the people, right? And her trying to connect with Lamar can also be a situation where she puts together her regret with her ex. So like those are binding ties, right? And I think we could, a week from now, see a totally different dynamic in the house. And that's why week one alliances don't work, because they don't get enough time to be with each other and realize, I don't like this person as much as this other person.
Right. But when you get in there, there's almost like this anxiety. I need to get in an alliance as quickly as possible, because if I don't, then I'm going to be a target. Right.
Which
so
is
I think
why you don't join a 6-person.
But like, but of course you have to say yes if you're asked to join it.
Yes. You do ask to join it.
And then it might become a thing, whether you wanted to or not, is sort of like just how it goes, I think sometimes. I think some things are just not always in your control. It depends how much clout and agency you have in the house, and with any given social structure, dynamic, and an alliance more specifically. But like, I think, a lot of times it's like, hey, do you want to be in this alliance? And then if like after a week or two, if that becomes sort of what the show and the viewers think is a thing, like I think enough questions are prompted to them in diary room sessions that they get that into their head as well, if they weren't really going that way or not. And then I think we saw that even with the cookout wasn't really a thing until like the other big alliance kind of fell apart. And then it was like, remember the cookout? Let's push that instead. And then that sort of did become a thing after that, because it hadn't really dissolved. I think what happens a lot of times, people get in the house too, and I'm going to be in like 6 alliances, and like most of them are nothing, but one of them will sort of turn into something, and you don't even know which one. It's kind of like just like a Kinder Surprise.
Yeah. It's how you feel about the Athlete Alliance, which you don't think is really a thing.
Well, I'm not saying it's. I don't think it's incorporated. I think it's. I think formation is.
It's running out of someone's van right now.
Yeah, it's a startup at best. Okay, so is there anything we have? The thing with Lamar and the whole him talking about cheating on his ex-wife and whatever. So I think it's also this opportunity to come onto Big Brother if you're a celebrity, maybe the prize might be one thing, but it might be also just like this chance to sort of, I don't know, have a bit of a public relations session, show America you're a bit more human, or, that you feel bad about certain things. It's, for your apology tour, if you're noticed the cheater, Lamar Odom, he's one on Khloe Kardashian.
I don't know how well that's going to work, because honestly, if someone said Lamar did Courtney wrong, and I'm like, yeah, but she's also a Kardashian, so
was he with Khloe or Courtney?
One of the two. I don't care. I said this yesterday. I don't care. Courtney, Kim.
There's three of them, and
there's other ones. It doesn't matter. None of them matter.
Jenners, and I don't know. Like it's
none of them matter.
It's a complicated family.
None of them matter.
No, it's but there a lot of people. It's almost like a royal, right? It's all because a lot of other people pay attention to it. So
you should ask me how I feel about the monarchy then.
Well, I know, I'm not necessarily saying I disagree, but it's just you can't help but through osmosis be exposed, know who's married to who. I don't care about Prince Andrew, but I have to hear about him in a public
bathroom and someone 2 stalls over is just making a big dump. That's a very good comparison. I agree, Dave.
It's a big dump.
Yes, it's a big dump, smelly dump.
Right.
I don't care about mascots that own land. I don't care about mascots that have parents who were lawyers.
Okay.
So
I don't think I do either. So we're good. Okay. But the whole thing with Lamar and him talking about all of that. And so it was fine. Shanna, she was reacting to that, I think, feeling bad for him, if I recall.
Yeah. Shanna, I think Mariah and Cynthia was there. No, Todrick was there. Lamar and Todrick were having conversation, and Mariah was there at the base of the bed, just poking her head up like she's a little kid. And Shanna, what's her name? Shanna was also there, and once again, I was kind of waiting for that shoe to drop conversations, but you couldn't help but feel for Lamar. Not too much though, because it is a Kardashian that he's talking about.
Well, he made his own bed, so to speak, as well, and he's got a lie in it. But it's good that he's trying to
be a better person,
trying to look to the path, walk in the path of redemption, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all we can really break down about this episode. I think if Mariah takes herself down off the block, which I think is a very high possibility, then we'll see how that plays out. I think the other good possibility is that Misha somehow wins this and keeps things the same. I just hope it won't be Chris Kattan that goes down tomorrow night. Come on, let him wake up at least. He's still waking up. He's not ready yet. Yeah. He's a nighttime guy. He's a what is love guy. It's
what is love.
I thought you were going to get a man vow.
Don't hurt me.
Sorry.
No more.
I thought you were gonna get the Man Now clip. Man Now.
Yeah. Okay, the whole thing with the hat. Okay, we didn't even talk about that at all. The thing with the hat and passing it around, and it was too long, and it was weird, and it was kind of an interesting game when they first proposed it, but how it kind of played out was it would almost be like. It'd be better at the game if whoever gets this last gets the curse, and that's what they kind of said here at the end. They try to make it seem like a good thing that you would get safety for this week, and that ultimately goes to Cynthia here. But that didn't really matter too much. But what if it was a bad thing? It was okay, randomly somebody's gonna get this first, and then you don't want to be left with this last, so give it to whoever is you want to keep safest, right? Because it will kind of show who people are prioritizing more than others. And that could create a lot of drama in the house, give us some good TV, It's kind of because, if it came down to well, it was you or you, and I didn't, I wanted to put somebody, it could be you're a third nominee or who knows. Something
with the final two, neither of them did I feel they were close to getting in trouble. or any danger. Neither Cynthia and Shauna are, I think, farthest from Misha's mind in terms of being noms. So
I
safety
know.
was
Yeah.
like a wasteful proposition for them. And then at the same time, I like week 1 twists. Come on, man. We're better than this. We're better than this. We don't need a week 1.
We didn't need this. We didn't need this. I think Chris Kattan was wrong about what's in the box. It was not worth it.
I always want what's in the box. What's in the box?
It was just safety for Cynthia in the form of a hat.
A hat. A really dumb looking
which was
hat.
really a bag. It was a bag on her hat. I didn't get it. It was just not for me.
Terrible. It was terrible.
Okay. All right. So we are not going to be on tomorrow night. We are going to come back on Sunday, and we're going to do like a double sort of header and talk about whatever happens tomorrow night along with what goes on Sunday, and catch up completely there because it's Friday. And what the hell, Big Brother? Don't do episodes on Fridays. Like, you're a primetime show. You're better than this. And anyway,
people are going to miss their Blue Bloods. Or whatever else shows up.
Yeah, well, I don't even know why we were on. So we were on late tonight. I expected to be. They would air at 8 p.m. Usually, and no, it was on at 9. And the Olympics haven't even started. I thought they had first said it was going to be at 8, and then I don't know. Whatever. Who can keep track? But anyway, so we will see you Sunday. We'll be back here. Check out our other podcasts here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, including Marvel Cinematic Universe. We talked about Ozarks. We talked about the Beatles, Get Back, Disney Plus. You can also, what else did we do?
The Serpent.
The Serpent. We talked about Tiger King season 1 only. I would like to talk about season 2 at some point. I'm trying to get that going.
Not with me, Fred.
No, I gotta get Sterling in for that. I gotta bring him in from Australia. And what else? We also have another channel called Trivial Debates, a monthly show where we argue movie, TV, sports, and like a game show format. Our next episode's coming up this Sunday. It's a monthly show, and our friend Davin Scalehorn, also my cousin, he will be hosting this one. I am competing, but he will show no family favoritism, he says, as I go against Chris Seymour and Adam Woodward, who often are part of our other podcasts. Most notably, Adam is over on our Star Trek podcasts and on a Live Long and podcast, our third channel, where we talk about Star Trek all kinds of different nights. Monday, we've been talking about Star Trek Enterprise, the one that starts Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap and everything else, going where our hearts will take us. And you can check that out every Monday night, Enterprise at 8 with Jody Simpson and Kevin Millard and myself. And then on Tuesday nights, we talk about Star Trek Deep Space Nine at 9-ish, we call it. We've gone all through the episodes of Deep Space Nine for almost 2 years now. We are coming up we're in season 5.
Season 5, episode 3, I believe.
Yeah,
no, 4. We just did.
We just did 3.
Looking for Ponfar in all the wrong places.
Parmok,
sorry.
Ponfar is the Vulcan.
It's different,
word.
Yeah.
But same kind of translation, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so yes, that we're checking out. Check out Deep Space 99-ish. Jeff Mader, who's often here to talk to us about Big Brother as well. Not tonight. He's got other things going on, more important things, mover shaker. Anyway, so and what else have I missed? Oh yeah, and then on Thursdays, today's Thursday. I was talking about Star Trek Prodigy. We just wrapped up season 1B. They've done the first 10 episodes of that series over on Nickelodeon, or it's streamed here in Canada. It's on CTV Sci-Fi Channel. It's a 30-minute animated show. It's a new Star Trek show. Kate Mulgrew features heavily in it as playing the Janeway hologram. And I can tell you, this is a great Star Trek show. It's a hidden gem. I don't think enough people are saying enough about it. And I think Davin and I talked about it tonight, and we both gave this episode 10. We both gave it 10 out of 10. I know it was episode 10 as well. That wasn't why we did it.
10.
10s. We've been talking about that with Jessica Chan. She just had her baby. So she couldn't be on tonight or last week, but she's been following along with us as well. And we've been really enjoying it. And just, I want to get the word out as that show's going on hiatus for an undisclosed amount of time, because technically this first season's not over. We are going to get more episodes this year. And there was left with a little bit of what's out there. There's a mystery to solve about an important Star Trek character. And next week, we're coming back to Star Trek Discovery, Season 4, coming off hiatus. I'll be talking about that with Michael Chen and Adam Woodward, getting back into the dark matter anomaly thing that's going on over there in Discovery. It is. Take my word for it. There's a dark matter anomaly, DMA, we say for short. And then Picard is coming up.
Yep.
And then we also have Survivor coming up here on Super Mader Brothers Podcasting.
The hardest season.
The shortest season. The most dangerous season.
It's Survivor. 18 new players take on the most dangerous version of Survivor ever seen.
Most dangerous version ever seen.
Russell Swan says, okay.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. And so anyway, there's lots always going on in our podcast. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends. We need more followers. We need more commenters. We need interaction. We love it. So just make sure to tell us what you think and the shows you want to see. If, Gilligan's Island one day. I'll get to it. All right. And with that, Jaemeel,
that's our stretch goal. A stretch goal.
Stretch goal. It's not. I'm not taking it off the board. It just, there's a lot going on. I'm trying to plan for Star Trek Radio Theater Season 3, and that's taking a lot of my other time. Okay, so I think we need Chris Kattan's great little quote here to take us away for tonight, Jaemeel. Thank you for being on, and we will see you. We'll be back Sunday to talk about this a bit more. All right, take care.
That was unexpected. And I know we should expect the unexpected, but that was one I did not expect.